Hey, what's going on, guys? First off, I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. Hope this turns out to be a good year for all of you. This morning, got legs, quad focused, starting off with some seated hamstring curls. Get the legs warmed up, get the knee joints warmed up before going into squatting movement. 2 warm-up sets, and then 3 total working, aiming for that 10 to 12 rep range, nothing too crazy. It's cold as shit out this morning, so that's why I'm all layered up. But slowly warming up. So probably by the end of this workout, I'm sure this fucking jacket will be coming off. I got a long sleeve on underneath it anyway, so I'll be good. All right, going into that last set. Ooh, shit. Ooh, all right. Felt pretty good. A little bit of iso hold action there at the end, but wow, not bad, not bad. Legs are definitely warmed up now. So now we got pendulum squats, more of a quad focus, so my feet are going to be slightly lower on the platform to really engage the meaty quads here. Yeah, since we've switched over to this gym, I've honestly been really liking this thing, even though it is a bitch and a challenge for sure. None of the gyms I've ever been to have ever had one of these, so it's kind of like it's a nice switch up. I mean, I'll say that, different type of movement activates the muscles in a different way, which overall is what you want. That being said, you don't necessarily want to regularly change up the movements or the machines that you're doing, because that's not optimal for muscle growth, progressive overload, that sort of thing. They kind of go hand in hand with each other. But as long as you can find a machine or find a movement that you enjoy doing, that's gonna work the muscles, and week after week you can continuously add weight or add reps to that movement, then you're in the right track. So I have this weight loaded on. Go ahead and get this first set going, and yeah, shooting for like the 6 to 10 rep range. Lately I've been falling in about in the middle, about 8 reps. So this week I'll probably end up adding a little bit of weight to this. We'll see. Keep a slight bend in the knee. All right. All right. Sling back up here. That didn't feel too bad. I think I'm gonna have to stretch a little bit because my left hip is feeling a little tight. Probably should have done that in between sets on the hamstring curls, but I'm not always the best at stretching sometimes, and I need to be. Yeah, they didn't feel too bad. I think I can definitely add some weight. I've tried doing 4 plates on this, and it just, that extra 45 just seems like so much because of how this machine loads the weight. So maybe I'll try like a 10 or add a 25 and see what happens. So going into set 2, did throw a 25 on there. See how that feels. Hopefully it's not too heavy, which I think should be like just perfect to be able to land me within that rep range that I want. But jacket had to come off. It's getting a little warm, starting to. Yeah, not feeling too bad. Slept pretty good last night, which definitely helps. You gotta make sure you're getting your sleep. If you're not getting proper sleep, you're not getting proper recovery. So whatever you gotta do to make sure you're getting plenty deep sleep, it's gonna benefit you in the long run, especially if you're trying to not only gain muscle, put on muscle mass, but preserve your muscle. Yep. Let's get in the second set and see how it feels. Last one. Come on. Come on. Ooh, fuck. Ooh. Yeah, I'd say that definitely landed me on that bottom rep range that I want. Fuck. The last rep, I was really working for it. Oh. So now I have a decision to make. For my last set, do I want to stick with this weight, or do I want to lower it a bit? I don't know. That's the decision you've got to make every time you're in the gym. Is what feels comfortable for you? What weight can you move safely with strict form, proper form, good range of motion, and adjust from there. You've got to make that decision all the time. At least if you train smart, that is, or want to train smart. So yeah, I don't know. Probably rest a little bit longer. Turn this thing off real quick. Log my set. Let's see, that was 135 plus 25. 140 should be 160. Yeah, 6 reps. So yeah, I mean, if anything, I might just rest a little bit longer in between this next set. And then even if I land in like that 4-5 rep range, I can always re-rack it, rest for like, I don't know, 20-30 seconds or so, and then do another rep or two. Just gotta be smart about it. Getting ready to move into this last set, and something I just want to touch real quick on that I don't think I've touched on before in any of these videos is rest time. And I'm big on following a set rest time, or I guess not necessarily a set rest time, but a rest time that I have in my head of how long is ideal for me to rest between movements, depending on the muscle group I'm training, depending on the movement that I'm doing. And I've always been big on that ever since I started training, you know, almost, at this point, almost 12 years ago. And heavy leg movements like squats, I'll typically rest anywhere between 3 and 4 minutes or so, just to give my legs enough of a, because they're such a large muscle group, but to really try and give them as much rest time as possible, so that way I'm as strong and like recovered as possible in between sets. Obviously, for smaller muscle groups, you know, biceps, triceps, you're looking at 1.5 minutes to maybe 2.5 minutes tops. Back and chest movements, those can kind of vary depending on the movement and the load. You know, somewhere in that 2 to 3 minute range is ideal for me. Now that might not work for you, but that's what I do. And I've always stuck by using some kind of rest timer, whether it was like the for years it was the stopwatch, the iPhone stopwatch. Now I've got an app that, you know, tracks my rest time and all that, so I don't have to worry about it. But just something to think about. So, yep. Let's get into this last set. At this point, I've had plenty of rest, so should have no excuses. Last one. Ooh. Yep. Went extra deep on that last rep. Ooh, that was a hell of a stretch. I'm glad that's over though. I say that, but now I'm going into leg extensions next, and those are going to be absolutely fucking brutal. All right, leg extensions. Also, sorry about that. Shot of my ass there real quick. I've never used this machine since I've been here. I didn't even know it existed. There's actually a plate-loaded old school one across from it. I don't know how I didn't notice this one over here. Yeah, let's go ahead and take these things off, because I have no idea how this thing is going to load. So I'm going to have to adjust it. For me, let's see, let's lower this guy all the way down for as much range of motion as we possibly can. Wow. All right. It's already quite a stretch on the quads here. I have to move this seat back some. Assume that's this lever here. Yep. 130 on there, so let's just do a couple reps, see how that feels. Make sure I get in this damn seat properly. All right. That is a deep stretch. All right, that actually doesn't feel too bad. So I might do my first, go ahead and do my first working set, probably with this weight. It's 5. Shooting for, so we're doing 3 sets of this total. Shooting for that, I don't know, 8 to 12 rep range. That's 5. Let's go ahead and finish the rest of them out. Damn. Yeah, that thing puts a hell of a stretch on the quad. Like, I don't know if it'll pick up on the camera, but I mean, I feel that thing from basically my knee all the way up to my, damn to my hip, just stretching all the way through here. That is good. I don't think I've ever felt a leg extension machine that I've been able to get that deep of a stretch before. So I definitely like this machine. 130 wasn't too bad. I think I can go up a little bit more. See what the next plate is. Looks like it's 150. That might be a little bit too heavy, so I might have to utilize a couple of these little 5-pound round plates on the side to incrementally get the weight up to where I want it. All right, going into, if I can get in here. Because I'm push on that a little bit. All right, so we're going into the last set here. I did end up going to up to the 150 plate, which didn't feel too bad. I'm probably gonna stay there though. Still ended up getting 12 reps, which I'm almost certain I'm probably gonna fall short of that this last set because my quads are so fatigued. So I'm probably gonna leave it right there. But then I know for next week, that I could probably add, 5 or 10 pounds onto this and still land within that rep range that I'm looking for. Another reason why it's important, if you're not doing this already, track your workouts, or track your exercises routine from workout to workout, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you can track your progression on certain movements and steadily increase the weight or the repetitions each time. That whole progressive overload thing, build muscles, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's go get this last set, and then we're moving on to seated hip. Let me say this right, because it's going to be the adductor, not the abductor. Adductor meaning closing the thighs. Abductor meaning you're opening the thighs. Yep. Quads are already feeling smoked. So let's just go get it over with. Yep. Oh, fuck. Oh, my quads are fucking wrecked. Try and get out of this damn machine. I'm busting my ass. Yeah, let me cover up. I'm not trying to give you a crotch shot, but at least see the fucking pump we got going on in the quads. They're definitely feeling full, looking full. Got some veins popping out. Thankfully, this is the last quad heavy movement for the rest of the workout. Getting ready to do some hip adductors. We're only doing 2 sets of these, aiming for the 10 to 12 rep range. Last week, I got 110, or I did 110. It's kind of tender. I slightly remember struggling a little bit with that 110 last week, so we're probably gonna start there. At least do 1 set, see how that feels, and then go from there. Make sure I got this thing adjusted. So my legs don't open up that wide. Nope, so I'm probably gonna have to adjust this in 1. Probably like right there. Yep. That should work. Also trying to make sure I'm not giving you guys straight on crotch shot, so yeah, just go ahead and try and cover up, be a little bit modest, you know what I mean? Shit. All right. So I was definitely working for those, but I wouldn't say that I was necessarily struggling. So I could probably add a little bit of weight. The next weight plate goes to 130. Definitely think that's going to be a little bit too much weight. So probably throw on, I'd probably do another 10 pounds. Got 3 of these little 5-pound round, like little plate things that you can add to slightly increase the weight resistance. So I'll probably throw 2 of those on there, and that should be pretty good to land me in that rep range that I'm looking for while providing plenty of resistance. Set number 2, an additional 10 pounds, maybe. A little confused because that little lever thing that you set down also says 10 pounds on it, so I don't know if I added 20 pounds or if it's 10. Either way, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. See how it feels, and if it's too heavy, then obviously I'm gonna lower the weight. Just hold it. Hold it. Good. Ooh, fuck. I don't know how much extra that was, but it was a noticeable amount. Try to hold it for at least a few seconds on that last rep. All right, we are in the home stretch. 3 sets of calf raises left. This calf raise that they've got at this gym, I like quite a bit. I like how it loads. I like the range of motion. I like how much of a stretch I'm able to get on my calves and actually feel my calves working and stretching. So that's a plus. Now let's finish this up and get it over there. All right, finishing off with these standing calf raises, which I prefer over the seated because I feel like I get a deeper stretch in the calves. I'm not really sure how much weight this actually is because the plates aren't numbered or anything like that. I'd like to assume they're like 10 pounds each, but they're definitely thicker than that, so I'm sure they're more like, I don't know, maybe 15 or so each. Either way, it don't matter. There's about 15 of them on there, so if you want to do the math, go ahead and do the math. These I just kind of have to go by feel. Doing 3 sets here, working in that 10 to 12 rep range. Making sure to get a nice deep stretch at the start. I like to slightly bend my knees too. And then slight arch in the back. Up. Oh, all right. I actually ended up getting more reps than I thought I was going to. I ended up getting 15, so I can definitely throw some more weight on there. Though it's getting close to the bottom of the stack, so don't know how much I'm gonna be able to throw on there before I run out of weight. I doubt I will, as long as I get in that rep range that I'm looking for. Go ahead, add some more weight on here. I have no idea how much that is. We're just gonna go with it. That's gonna be a wrap. Let's check out this leg pump real quick. Not too bad. Quads are definitely looking fucking meaty. Some veins popping out. Sorry, once I start leaning out, which I don't know when that'll be, but once I start leaning out, probably in the next month or so, they'll really be popping out. Anyways, it's gonna be a wrap. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Feel free to drop a comment, let me say that correctly, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.